Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, TammyTalks here. Let's talk Married at First Sight season 16. This is episode 11, still in Nashville. Day 28 of marriage is where we are starting off. So, if you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns on various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if you guys enjoy that type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video. If you hear my voice right now, like the video, like the video, like the video. Liking the video helps us smaller content creators get pushed into the algorithm so more people see our videos. So if you are coming back because you've been typing in my name, subscribe, like the video, and then hop in the comment section so we can talk about everything that happened. All right, so as on theme for this season, one video going in chronological order as the episode happened. So we start off with Aerys and Jasmine. We get one of those like little quick snippet scenes where Aerys is on his way to work. He kisses Jasmine goodbye. I was shocked. Did we know they were kissing? Is that new? I don't think we knew that they were kissing in that manner. I don't think we knew they were kissing. Nonetheless, they kiss goodbye on the lips at that. We then get a scene with Kirsten and Shaq. And Kirsten didn't know she had to touch the plant to repot it. Like, is Kirsten slow? And I don't want to be offensive, but is Kirsten slow? Sometimes she gives short bus vibes, okay? Sometimes she gives short bus vibes. What do you mean you didn't know you had to take it out of said pot, touch the dirt and the roots, and put it into another pot? It's given short bus. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. But that's what Kirsten gives sometimes. So we then get a scene with Kirsten going to meet up with a friend of hers. So she's hanging out with one of her friends. They're getting pedicures. And she's telling her friend that it's still taking her some time to open up and be vulnerable. And this is my problem with the show as of now. I look at the show completely different, right? There are a lot of people that are complaining that they're no longer matching up couples truly for love. It's entertainment to me. What bothers me about the show is the amount of people that come on here and then say, oh, it takes me a while to warm up to this. It takes me a while to open up and be vulnerable. Then why did you agree to marry somebody? I just feel like show had my nerves bad tonight because it is so irritating. Everybody on this cast is unlikable. Every single person, the remaining 8 people, are all unlikable aside from Jasmine. She is the only redeeming grace on this season. So she tells her friend that she does not want him going into decision day feeling as if she didn't give it her all. Well, Kirsten, you aren't, sweetheart. You aren't giving your all, though. We can see it, and we're watching you through the TV. I know Shaq can not only see it, but feel it and experience it himself. So she thinks that they just need to keep on talking and keep trying to keep talking, keep trying. She said that in order for her to connect with Shaq, she wants him to hold her and talk to her and then make her feel comfortable, and then maybe she'll be more willing to open up and be more vulnerable. So her friend was like, didn't you do that already? I was her friend. Been there, done that, got a t-shirt, not doing it again. This is all the things that Shaq tried to do with you before. So her friend was like, he was all over you at the wedding. What happened now? Kirsten goes on to say, well, I just feel like something changed. Yes, you told that man that you all but didn't like his personality on the honeymoon. When he did ask you, what do you like about me? You didn't have a response. This man has tried to get you to talk, to open up, to be vulnerable, and you always have an excuse each and every time. Of course, he don't want to try anymore, Kirsten. Of course he doesn't. I believe everything that Shaq has said on these after parties, that you are a complete different person when the cameras go down. I believe each and everything Shaq has said. Shaq is not without fault, because we're going to get there later. But I believe each and everything that Shaquille has said. So she said that Their marriage changes day to day. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. She just doesn't know. But she then in the confessional says that she kind of feels rejected because he doesn't show her enough attention. She feels that when he comes in the house, he's not kissing her and hugging her and doing all this other stuff. He just gives her a hey. So she said that she thinks that he still feels a way about being told that she's not physically attractive. I'm sorry, that he is not physically attractive to her. So she was like, we got to move past that and grow. Heifer, no. How are you going to grow and move past when somebody tells you they're not physically attracted to you and y'all are married? I don't have time for Kirsten. I don't have time for Kirsten at all. I just don't, because this is silly. This is silly, y'all. Y'all know it's silly. This is silly. So then we have Nicole and Chris. Nicole's dad comes over. Nicole gets to see her dog for the first time in a month for a couple hours because we didn't see no swapsies. We didn't see no swapsies, y'all. We didn't see one of Chris's dogs leave or both of Chris's dogs leave. No, Nicole's dog came over for that half hour that they had to film, and then that was it. Alrighty. But again, Nicole, you did this to yourself because you should have told him, no, we're going to have to figure something out, but I'm just not going to give up my dogs completely so that you can have both of yours. That's not going to happen. But hey, what do I know? I don't have no dogs. So Chris and her dad are talking. Well, excuse me, her dad is talking. Her dad is low-key rude. I'm over it. They're getting a tour of the one-bedroom apartment. He's asking Chris, like, do you sleep here? Pointing to the dog bed. It's like, I get it. You want to be, this is my daughter. Ho, ho, ho. We're over it, sir. They've been married for 30 days. Accept it and move on. So Chris and her dad have a conversation outside. And her dad gives Chris some real deal, okay? Chris said that they have a good time together. She spends time with the dog. She's a good dog mom. She's great with the dogs. She helps out with the dogs. She's awesome with the dogs. We get it, Chris. Your dogs are the most important thing in the world to you. We know. Nicole knows. You know it. Them dogs know. We know. So they then talk about how Chris said that Nicole wakes up much earlier than him. And her dad, so Chris goes on to say, well, I kind of want to change my sleep schedule. And her dad was like, look, if you want to start waking up earlier, do that. If you want to switch up your time, your schedule, do that. But don't do it because you think it'll make her happy. Do it because you want to. So her dad then goes on to say that marriage and relationships aren't easy, which I think everybody in the world should know. They aren't easy. He said, Nicole is not easy. He said, because if you take a step back, she's going to take forward. The more steps that you take back, the more that she's just going to keep coming towards you before she runs all over you. He said that you cannot be codependent on Nicole. Don't. And we've already seen that because anytime there's some type of situation that needs to be had, some type of conflict, Chris does not have conflict resolution skills the way an adult should. So he's always going to lean towards Nicole. So her dad then says in the confessional, let's just call a spade a spade. Chris needs some big dick energy. You don't have the balls, okay? You're acting like you're timid and like you don't have to be very loud and brash and abrasive, but you got to stand on yourself too. Get into it. Don't let my daughter walk all over you is basically what he's saying. Chris is manipulative. I don't believe the whole meek and mild act for 1 minute. I don't. I think Chris is the toxic ex that he keeps referring to. It's you. It's you. So we have Aerys. Aerys is meeting up with his fine friend Harold. Shoot, Harold should have been on the show. No, Harold can find him somebody in the real world because Harold is normal. So he meets up with Harold. Said that he doesn't know what he expected out of marriage, but he's in it. I said, what does that mean? So his friend asked him, what base are you on? How are you getting? Aerys said, we ain't at no bases. I'm in the parking lot. I don't even got my clothes on. And it's like, Aerys stresses me out. I could never. I wouldn't even want to be friends with Aerys and have a conversation with him because I feel like he is just weird. He's weird. You can tell that emotionally, he's just not fully developed yet. So he tells his friend that he is not attracted to her and he told her. And his friend was like, mm, mm, mm. So Aerys said that even if there's no physical attraction, sometimes you can just get a vibe from somebody that makes them attractive, which is true. So he was like, she ain't a sneakerhead, like she don't know sports. We ain't got nothing in common. She eat bacon. It's nothing, nothing. That's all Aerys can come up with. So his friend told him, so you got married to be a virgin. You gotta find a spark. So Harold asks him, "What are you doing to try to make it better?" Because that's the thing. Aerys, you can sit and say that you're not attracted to her, and that's perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. Because every week somebody gets in the comments and says he don't have to like her. No one said he did. Okay. Literally nobody said he did. But there's a difference between not having the physical attraction and then completely shutting down and not having the physical attraction and still trying. And Aerys is not trying whatsoever. He's not trying. He's absolutely not trying. And we say, yeah, he's not rude to her. He's very cordial to her. He's not rude. He's respectful. They're content with what they're doing right now. But I think one thing is we can't make it seem as if, is this crooked? Am I crooked? I don't think so. But we're not going to make it seem as if Aerys is doing a whole lot either, because let's be real, he's not. So he said that they need to just date and go out to do some stuff, but their schedules are so different that they got to try to find the time. That's all y'all should be doing right now, is trying to find the time. So he said in his confessional that he needs help and that he wants to know what he can do to try to fix the marriage. He said he don't care where the help comes from. The help can come from Felina. The help can come from Harold. He said, Dr. Pepper, Pastor Cow, shit, somebody, anybody, help me. And you know what? It's sad that this show has a cast member that is screaming out for help. Screaming. I feel like I'm crooked. If I'm crooked, y'all, I'm sorry. I feel crooked. But it's so sad that there is a cast member on this show that is yelling out, screaming out, pleading for help because the experts have vanished from the show. And I know that the experts or the production wants to take the show in more of a documentary style where they're going to have people kind of fend for themselves and work this out. Perfectly fine if that's the road that y'all are taking. But if y'all are going that direction, then y'all have to match people up that are truly compatible and give people what they want then. But you have somebody that y'all have only met with once out of these 28 days, and this man is telling y'all he needs help. He needs the tools on how he can fix and help and save his marriage, and y'all are nowhere to be found. And that is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, right? So then we have a scene with Clint, Gina, Chris, and Nicole going on a redneck comedy bus tour. I said, I know you fucking lying, Married at First Sight. So they go on this bus tour. They're learning redneck terms, and the lady said cooter. She said that cooter, and then she said that cooter is something that you can eat. I said, what is going on here? What if that's what they want to do? Great. Why do we have to see this? So then they're all like, oh my God, it's awkward. And she was like, cooter is a turtle. Down low is the beaver. I said, ma'am, let's wrap this scene up. Let's wrap it up. Because this is not giving what y'all thought it was gonna give. Absolutely not. So they go to like a little bar or whatever, and they're doing moonshine tasting, and they are knocking back them shots. I know it could be editing, but it was like hand over fist, hand over fist, hand over fist. I said, they know they can get you drunk or married at first sight. If they don't do nothing else, they gonna provide liquor. So they asked the bartender how long he's been married. He was like 6 years. For whatever reason, they asked a stranger who they don't know if he's happily married. They don't know if his marriage has withstood a bunch of stuff. They don't. He could be cheating on his wife for all we know. They could be going get ready to head towards divorce, but they gonna ask the strange man for some marital advice, and he said to be honest. Honesty is the best thing to do. Clint and Gina was like, well, they told us we was too honest, so that ain't gonna work for us. Okay. So Clint and Gina said that they are doing well together. Gina does most of the cooking for the two of them, and they said that their biggest goal right now is to have fun together. And I think Clint and Gina know that they are not physically attracted to each other. They know that they are not going to work in that capacity. So they're just going to have fun the best that they can, get through this process, and I think on the end of the process, they might come out as friends. That's what I think they're doing. I don't think anything more is going to come from them. Nicole said that her and Chris, I guess their biggest issue now was like the changing of the name. And I'm sick of this conversation every season. I don't know why. Outside of Stasha from last season, none of these couples come into this. None of these women come in wanting to change their name right away for a marriage that might be over in 8 weeks. So I don't know why we keep having this argument. But Nicole says she isn't comfortable to change her name just yet. And Chris said, well, that can wait till after decision day. It's going to absolutely have to wait, Chris. Of course it's going to wait. Why would she do it now? So we get Aerys and Jasmine. So Aerys plans a rage room for their 1 month anniversary. Because that sounds great, right? Cool. So they plan a rage room. Aerys said he planned the rage room because she has a hard time expressing her feelings. What? Aerys, when have you expressed your feelings? When have you're telling everybody else that you don't want to have sex with Jasmine. You're telling everybody else how you feel about Jasmine but her. So who are you to say that she needs to do this so that she can get better at expressing her feelings? I said, pop me kettle. Okay. So Jasmine, on the flip, in her confessional, said that she feels that they haven't progressed as much as she would have hoped by this point. She said that coming into this process, she was excited to get married and have kids and build a future, and she doesn't feel that way anymore. Now she just feels overwhelmed and frustrated, which is unfortunate that they put the woman who is a hopeless romantic with the man that has never been in love. Luck of the draw. So then we have Nicole and Chris. Nicole is back there curling her hair. And Chris is playing with the drone, and he writes out this note and tapes it to the table. Nicole comes out, and he's like, I feel like we're ready to go to the next stage in our relationship. And she was like, great, we're going to play with toys. That made me so mad when she said that. Why would you think that's what he's talking about? I also don't consider a drone a toy. I think that was a drone, right? Well, nonetheless, y'all weren't about to play with toys. But he tells her that they're going on a helicopter ride for their 1 month. I said, okay, big baller, Chris. Okay. So we get Shaq and Kirsten. They go skating for their 1 month. Kirsten was very excited about that because she said that she has told Shaq that her and her brother and her sisters and her friends, they go skating a lot. So it's something she enjoys doing. So for him to pick skating as an event or activity for them to do together shows that he listens to her, yada, yada, yada. So they're having fun skating. Shaq is like, she's a way better skater than me. She's skating backwards. She dancing. She doing the butt. All types of stuff. So they sit down to have dinner. And Shaq just seems so checked out when the two of them are together. And I can't blame him because if I know that you don't like me and you have all but said you don't like me, and you're not opening up to me, and you're not trying to get to know me, and I can tell that you're just going through the motions, and you being real fake and fugazi, yeah, I'm gonna be checked out a little bit too. So she feels that they have a bright future together. She can't wait for them to experience new things and to start traveling together. And Kristen very much gives the pageant girl answer that Felina thought Jasmine was giving. You can tell that Kirsten has rehearsed and planned out everything that she needs to say, everything that she should be saying. She has planned all of that out so that no one can tell her, nobody can say, you didn't try. She has the right answer for everything until Shaq throws a curveball at her and asks her a question she didn't rehearse. So he said that he can't wait to spend time with her family and friends because that's how you really get to know a person. Let me see Kirsten the sister, Kirsten the friend, Kirsten the daughter. That's what he wants to see. She was like, I mean, you can see all that by just being around me now. So she keeps saying that we just have to spend more time together. Shaq in his confessional said, we spend enough time together. We spend time together. We do things together. He then asks her how much more time before she lets her guard down. Kirsten said that she lets it down a little bit every day. Girl, you a lie. You a lie. You're not letting your guard down, Kirsten. We're on episode 11. You still ain't kissed this man. You can't tell that man something that he don't know about you. You barely hug the man. What are you talking about? So she said that they can start right now and then we can figure it out because we have a lifetime to do it. He said, no, we have until decision day. So she then is like, so that's, but like you're thinking about decision day, not a lifetime. So she goes in her confessional and said that she's struggling with him focusing on decision day because she's thinking about a lifetime and she doesn't want him around her friends and family if it's only gonna last until decision day. So once that Shaquille can prove that he is committed to her, then once Shaquille can prove that he is committed to her, then she is going to be more willing to let him meet her family and her friends. And I said, Kirsten, go to hell. You are so full of it, girl. That don't even make sense. You don't want Shaquille to meet your friends and family because you don't like this man and you have no intention of staying with this man. You don't want your friends and family to tell you that's a good man, Savannah. You don't want them to say that. You don't want your friends and family to start to like him when you don't. It's just like Johnny and Bao, where Johnny didn't want Bao to come meet his family because he didn't want his family to like her if he didn't. That's the same thing that this is now. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That is so stupid. That is dumb. I don't want my family and friends to meet you because you're only focused on decision day. Kirsten, girl, bye. 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 Shaq is seeing right through you. Right through it. And she doesn't have a response for when he calls out her bullshit. So then we get Clint and Gina. They wanted to recreate them hiking to the waterfall, that chaotic trip that they did, hiking to the waterfall in Jamaica. So they're hiking to, I guess, a waterfall that's like outside of Nashville. So they're having fun. They get there. Hank is there, the dog. You can tell that Hank likes Clint because when Clint swam to the other end, that dog went crazy. He was like, Clint, we over here. Come on back. You went too far. Because Gina had that dog on a leash. So if Hank was free, Hank would have jumped right on in and went on over to Clint. So Gina said in her confessional, she's been looking for someone that is compassionate and adventurous, and she thinks she found that in Clint, and she can definitely see a future with the two of them. Gina is lying. Gina does not like Clint. Gina is going through the motions. These people are going through the emotions on here, okay? So we have Aerys and Jasmine. They are now, after the rage room, they're like sitting down and like, I don't know if they just went to get champagne or They're just like sitting outside somewhere, I guess, before they have their dinner. And they're reading their vows. And Aerys said that he's just now getting around to the fact that he feels married. He said that he hasn't, it was quick, we had the wedding and then the honeymoon and then we moved in together. Yes, the natural progression of a marriage, absolutely. And he said that that's too much for him. So after 28 days, well 30 days now, after 30 days of marriage, he is just now getting to the fact of realizing, shoot, I'm married. Ain't nobody told me nothing. I'm married. Aerys, please. Please, that don't even make sense. So I guess my thing is if it's too much to process and this is moving so fast, why did you sign up? I would like to know, why are these people signing up for this process to then turn around and say, oh, it's things are moving too fast. Like, that doesn't make sense. Y'all have seen the show. You know how the show goes. That's why you signed up. Oh, Jesus. Aerys, you're not even promoting nothing on the show. What was your purpose in coming? So we get to Nicole and Chris. They're driving to the helicopter ride. He said that he likes to spoil the people that make him feel special. They do the helicopter ride. Seems like a good time. They have fun, yada yada yada. Back over with Clint and Gina. Gina has decorated the apartment so they can recreate Jamaica again. She got some oxtail that she done went and picked up. She got Jamaican flags all over. I said, okay, doing a lot. Hank got on a little Jamaican t-shirt. I said, y'all are dedicated to this, ain't you? So they're sitting down eating. Clint asked her if she's ever had camel. Don't ask me no stupid shit like that. You know I've never had camel. Who has had camel? Are you supposed to be eating camel? I have never heard somebody say that they've had camel or that they have heard of somebody eating camel. Gina's response was, sometimes when she eats with him, she immediately wants to stop eating. And the way he looked at her, it just glossed over it and kept on talking. But basically, the two of them, they did some talking. I feel like we are repeating conversations. They had another one of the same conversations that they have had before about how they're progressing and all this other type of stuff. Whatever. There's nothing new. I feel like these couples aren't talking about anything new. They are literally all having the same conversation over and over and over. Aerys and Jasmine are now eating dinner. Aerys immediately says, cheers. And she was like, what we cheers into? And he like almost got irritated and it was like, to 2 months. She was like, it's 1 month, but okay. Aerys just is such a nigga. He is. Oh my God. And not in a good way either. So Aerys then said that the first couple of weeks he was closer to being checked out, and now he wants to be more on a middle ground. So Jasmine said, well, they've been very stagnant. So Aerys said that he is struggling with not hurting her while being truthful. And she said, well, what you got to say? Go on and spit it out. Get to it. So Aerys says that he wants to say that there is no sex until after decision day. Not because she's asking for it, but because he is tired of other people asking him about it. He said that way they don't wake up every day and wonder, is this today? Is this today? She said, I'm not expecting it to happen. She was like, that's not what I mean when I say we need more intimacy. So they make the decision to not have sex until after decision day. She was perfectly fine with that. Perfectly fine with that. Here's the thing, Aerys. It's not the fact that she wants to jump your bones. It's the fact that you continually say how sexual of a person you are. Y'all, the only time that you are, remotely engaged in any type of like conversation with her is when you are talking to her about sex. So I think, Aerys, you want to have sex with her. You want to, but you think because you've said it that you don't want her to get more emotionally attached. So Aerys says in his confessional, he thinks that sex will increase her emotional attachment to him, and he's tired of having meaningless sex. I can't. So Jasmine then said that she is willing to do the work to make this marriage work, but she cannot do it by herself. To my knowledge, Aerys didn't reply. You know why? Because Aerys is ready for the marriage to be over. And honestly and truthfully, Aerys needs to just tell Pastor Cal he wants a divorce too. Because Aerys is not trying. Aerys is being nice to her. He's being respectful. He's not being rude. But Aerys isn't trying in this marriage. He's not trying. So Chris and Nicole watched their wedding video. Nicole says in her confessional, once again, she wasn't a fan of how she looked at the wedding. We don't want to hear about this again. I don't want to hear about this again. You got a free wedding with a free dress, free makeup, free hair on the TV show that you're now getting paid for. Deal with it. Deal with it. If y'all do decide to stay together, then you can make sure that your hair and makeup looks exactly how you want it to then on your own dime. Stop complaining about this. So she's such a self-deprecating person. She said by looking at the wedding video where y'all were seemingly happy to see each other, she feels, this one gets me, she feels that it's making her feel worse about the wedding because she didn't like how she looked. Bye, Nicole. So then Chris is telling her, you looked fine. You looked great. Like, you look perfectly fine. Like, whatever. But Chris also says in his confessional that she's too critical of herself and it is now becoming an annoyance. And it makes me wonder if Nicole is one of those people that's fishing for compliments. Do y'all think that Nicole is just ragging on herself and saying all of this because she wants Chris to say, no, you looked great at the wedding, blah, blah, blah? Because it's been annoying me, for one. But it's also like nobody wants to hear somebody always complain. Nobody wants to hear somebody constantly complain, like at all. So we get the group dinner at the end. And we always have this around the 1 month mark. Everybody kind of goes around the table, talks about their marriage, how great it's going or not. So Clint and Gina, they said that they are bonding and they've come a long way, but they feel that they are in a really good place. Gina pointed out that Clint was bonding with Hank. Nicole was like, are you guys bonding? See, Nicole really worked my nerve this dinner because you really got your own issues in your marriage that you just don't know yet or that you're choosing to avoid. But Nicole was way too in everybody else's business for me tonight. So Jasmine and Aerys, Nicole said, I'm a body language reader and I feel like you guys are giving great vibes. So you're a terrible body language reader because he don't like her. Jasmine said, well, I'm attracted to him and I'm just letting him kind of take the lead. Aerys has nothing positive to say. Nothing positive or constructive to say in regards to that. Didn't say a word to comfort her or to reassure her that he's trying. Didn't say a word, but then goes on to ask Nicole and Chris if married sex is different from single sex. Jasmine, you should ask for a divorce today. That man don't like you. That man is not going to like you. That man is not going to try to find anything he likes about you. Call it a day. So then we get to Shaq and Kirsten. Nicole said, what are you guys doing? Are you guys progressing? Because at this point, we should all be kissing on the mouth. And I said, damn, get into it. And Kirsten looked offended. She looked offended and downright disgusted that Nicole would dare say you should be kissing your husband. So Kirsten said, well, they have a little bit of connection. Shaquille says, we have connection. It's there. He then said in the confessional, his patience is wearing thin. I know that's right. His patience is wearing thin. He can't move forward knowing he's putting forth all this effort and the same is not being given back. So Kirsten looks pissed that people are asking if they've kissed because somebody else asked if they've kissed at all. So Kirsten is sitting there with the stank face, kind of like, why y'all asking me that? As if they're asking her if, she laying low and spreading it wide or something for him. So Gina then said, it seems like it's a sore subject. Yes, so stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Y'all know she don't like him. Y'all know she don't like him. But y'all want to sit here and keep doing this. So Gina said, look, we all know that we are doing a lot. We all have ups and downs and differences. Let's extend grace and growth. Nicole said, come on, guys. It's been a month. Nicole, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm telling you, don't act like your marriage is so far up here. Because let's not forget, you were just damn near in tears that Chris said you were thicker than he preferred. So don't act like your marriage is that popping that you can tell people how they should be reacting to anything or what they should be doing in theirs. Nicole was so out of place with everybody's relationship tonight, but we did not get her and Chris talking about their relationship. Did y'all peep that? So the final scene is they are back at home. Back at home. Shaq and Kirsten are at home. She sits down on the couch next to him, immediately puts her leg on his so he can unbuckle her shoe. She said that she was stressed at dinner. Shaq said, every time we make progress, you do or say something in these group settings that sets us back. And she was like, what did I do? He said, when the question came up about chemistry, you said a really little bit. He was like, I felt blindsided because you could have just told me that at the house. She said, well, I check in on you. You don't check in with me. I ask you how you're doing, how you're feeling. You don't do that. Shaq said, what? So he tells her, why don't you just say it? She said, if I don't come out and say something, you could ask me as well. He said he does. She said, when? So then he says, fine. Now, time out. I don't think Kristen's lying. I don't think that Shaq is asking her how she feels about everything because Shaq is going off of her energy. Shaq is more so going off of her energy and off of her moves and off of her actions. So Shaq is not going to ask her, how do you feel about the marriage? Because your body language and the way that you're acting, the way that you're moving, Kirsten, is giving him all he needs to know about it. So he asked her, how do you feel about the marriage? She said, we need to work on communication because it is horrible. She also feels that their intimacy level could be better. You know what y'all could be doing? Very simple to improve upon that intimacy. You could kiss that man. You could let him kiss you. You can kiss him, Kirsten, and that would immediately improve your intimacy. Maybe that's just me. Hey, what do I know, right? So he said everything is on her time. He said that you have had your guard up since the honeymoon when you didn't even want me to barely touch you. She was like, but I'm getting there now. So then Shaq bitches out and says, well, everything ain't on your time. It's just because you want. And it's like, hold on, Shaq. So basically what Shaq is saying is, now that you're ready, I'm not ready now. And that's like Shaq is playing games with her. I get it. She had to guard up. She had to wall up. She wasn't all in. At the same time, y'all are in this for 8 weeks. If she's starting to come around now and she's telling you, spend more time with me, do this, do that, and now you got a chip on your shoulder and you acting like a little bitch yourself because she didn't do it on the time, everything is not on your time either, Shaq. So for you to say, well, everything ain't on your time because now she's starting to let her guard down, that's just the dumbest, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Dumb. You were begging this woman to let her guard down. Now that she finally is, now you have an issue with it and you feel that, well, you know, just because you want to do it now, I don't want to do it now. This is stupid. So then he goes on to say, Well, she said that this isn't going to help their marriage or help them grow. Because I think even though Kirsten is playing games, devil advocate, right? Let's do devil's advocate. Even though we know that she's playing games, what she's saying is true. I'm trying. I'm able to put my guard down now, and you don't want to do it because you feel a way, because you feel that it's on my time and that I think everything should operate on my time. That's not helping us. So then Shaq says he doesn't know if he wants to be in a marriage with someone that has their guard up with somebody that wants to be with them. Divorce. Everybody should just divorce at this point. Don't none of y'all like each other. And then when the other person does come around, then y'all want to act funny about it. Everybody is immature on the show. Every single person. If you've made it this far, please hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up the video, thumbs up the video, thumbs up the video. If you really didn't like it, thumbs it down, I guess. And it happened in the comment section, y'all. Let's talk about everything that happened on tonight's episode. I'm sure I missed some stuff. Let's talk about that down in the comment section below. And I will catch you guys next week.